right, good morning, everybody. This is Andrew Lowsutea, President. Well, thank you very much for joining me on this webinar. This is going to be a very good webinar. The reason is because this is talking about, many of the women who are pre-diabetic diabetes. How can we help them to better understand, what is the cause of pre-diabetic, and also need to understand in the sense that how they can achieve, the two set can help them to manage so they can be better health. And so this has really become a important webinar to help you really to understand and all the tools that you can have so you can be really better health. Now we have, let me first of all, before I start, I can actually share with you a story of, ladies who are maybe due to, diabetes, or due to pre-diabetic, or due to gestation diabetic, and how that process comes through the later life. And so we have quite a few stories about that. And that is really today's lecture. We found that issue is actually important. Also, a lot of customers wrote to us and say, hey, I was gestating diabetic. So now what do I do? How can I prevent myself to really future in life not to become a diabetes? And they already are pre-diabetic. So a lot of these questions in their mind, and really in the government sector or public sector, no one really actually helped them to better understand. So net result of that, they said, wow, if that's the case, from my standpoint, I thought would be good. I did some good webinar for you folks so you can have better understanding what that is, so you can take steps to prevent yourself of this potential pre-diabetic to convert it to diabetes. Okay? 各位朋友 ，Hi， 我係 Angela Lowsutea President， 你好。嗱，今日嘅講座咧係好特別嘅，點解咧？就係因為咧，我有好多我哋現有客人啦，咁佢近時就係因為生育後咧。咁佢嗰陣時生育嗰陣時候咧，真係已經係一個叫做糖尿患病者，叫 Gestational diabetic。咁但係生完後咧，咁啊好返喎。咁但係變咗嚟講，佢哋就問：喂，我哋使唔使要做多啲嘢㗎 ？Down the road 要幫助我唔會變咗真係糖尿患病者㗎？咁呢個咧就係有好多啲咁嘅 question 咧，就係問咗我嘅。咁我覺得今次咧就會好咧，就俾一個 webinar 俾你啦，等你了解。原來真係有好多你可以，如果生育後，你如果就係糖尿病嗰陣時有嘅，咁依家係冇嘅，咁就將來會有咧，係會有好高嘅機會有。咁我變咗嚟講，你大家了解咧，咁你就可以做到一個叫做防禦嘅工作。So today webinar I think is good, very good, help you to better understand. So I'm going to start my webinar now and go with it first. Okay, so let's see. Okay, yeah. Let's see. Okay, so now I got fixed. Sorry about the delay. Okay, good. So now we can start our webinar. It was very nice to have everybody now into this meeting room. We can able to start our webinar room to start a webinar. So appreciate your patience for me on that. Okay, so okay, let's see. Okay, good, excellent. Okay, so today we are talking about empower women, understand the unique impact of because of pre-diabetic and diabetes. And we also provide you the 7 key insights. So with the insight, what is expecting, you can able to, based on this insight, maybe perhaps you can able to start protecting yourself and do action, help you to become a better arrangement for your health and understand. So that's why this webinar would be good. And we have a lot of people actually do request, better more information, and that's why I created webinar. 各位今日堂友咧，頭先講咗咧，就係有好多女士咧就覺得，哇！我其實要了解點解會係有呢個前期患病糖尿病，咁我有咩能夠真係幫助我更加做到更加防禦性嘅資料咧？咁我就去做呢樣嘢。咁今日嘅介紹咧就第一就係知道咧其實女士嘅荷爾蒙對個糖嘅影響係點樣咧？呢個係一個好重要嘅。第二樣嘢咧就係如果懷孕咧同糖尿病者咧，咁如果懷孕後啦，咁咪點樣咧？ 咁仲有咧就有7個最重要嘅關鍵裏邊咧，就睇到哇有咩如果你係女士嘅，有咩要注重咧，同埋喺呢個去糖茶有咩幫助俾你咧？咁變咗嚟講咧，你有一個更加好嘅資料咧，咁你能夠咧就可以幫助你咧係做到更加防疫。So today we basically help you to understand what is the impact of woman hormone on your blood sugar, and that's actually a very important understanding. A lot of people don't really understand that. And secondly, if you have pregnancy, you have that time the diabetic, you're gestation diabetic, now you get well or continue with diabetes. Well, how do you get to that part, and how do you prevent from turning from after gestation diabetic, now you're getting better, but how can you continue to prevent yourself with a diabetes? That's also very important. And some of the key insights, so we better understand, so you get how to prevent, plus at the time, Lowsutea, how to help you. So all that will be today's webinar. I think will be a very good webinar to help you better understand. So this will be very good. Now, really at the end of the day, women really play a very important role to your family, your community, career. And then because, even your mother, and then you also have to work, you really are understanding the kind of challenge you're going to have. So how do you manage your health? And on top of that, if you are at that time being pre-diabetic already, and now you have a potential good chance to be a diabetes, all that will be a very relatively compact issues. So you really need to know how to understand how to understand to maintain a better health. So I empower you with all these knowledge today, so you can able to continue your well-being and enjoy your children, your family to old age. And even you were gestating diabetic, no worry, because you can prevent yourself from there ever not change to from pre-diabetic to diabetes. So that is the important things that we try to help you to better understand. 嗱，各位女士，因為咧家庭最重要係其實媽咪同埋你自己啦，因為你生咗 B 後之後咧，其實仲有好多挑戰嘅，可能又要生咗 BB 又要做嘢咯喎，咁哇又要身體要好健康喎，唔可以有任何東西令到你病喎，因為你維持家庭嘅全部嘅東西都係操作上，你係要有一個好重要嘅部位喺度噶嘛，咁我哋要真係點幫助你咧？係了解原來你係可以有機會你自己了解多啲點去幫助你自己身體健康，咁你咧就永遠咧都係健康，亦都照顧你嘅家庭，冇問題，能夠可以做到呢樣。咁今日咧就會俾好多呢咁 tips 俾你，咁你能夠知道點去做呢樣嘢嘅。咁希望咧講完書之後咧，咁你就達到一個好特別嘅東西，就原來好多嘢都可以做到，幫助你係身體健康嘅喎。咁呢個係一個我哋今日要做嘅講座俾你。And I also noticed there's a lot of people here today. I'm not really familiarized with them. The names from probably all over the world. I saw some people from Los Angeles, Hawaii, from everywhere, actually, from Southeast Asia. So I take a very fast step for discuss what is the 4th step to get you to be a diabetes. The first stage actually is your LDL cholesterol goes up, and then it damages the B cell, which is hormone. Which is the pancreas come out with this B cell, which is supposed to take the sugar to the cells. So more B cell damage, the sugar not going to the cell, then you have a lot more issue comes on. So net result of that, we will the sugar continue goes up, and then cholesterol, the LDL cholesterol also high. When that mixed together, your blood become very thick, and when your blood becomes thick, wow, then you have an issue. Because very quickly you move to stage 2. When you get stage 2, then because the vessels have plaques everywhere, all over the body, so blood pressure will start continue to go up because there's less space in the vessels. And if you continue goes up, your blood pressure goes up. Now at that time, you really don't have any real symptom, except you have to measure yourself. Then you realize your blood pressure go up already beyond 130. And then you move very quickly, within maybe a year or so, you will move to stage 3, which is a pre-diabetic stage. Now, pre-diabetic stage is your blood sugar are continue to go up to a certain point. Now, all doctor will measure you A1C. The A1C is basically measure the hemoglobin, how many percent of sugar attached to the hemoglobin. Now, this hemoglobin, you're 5.7 below, you're a normal person, 5.7 and to 6 and 4, you are pre-diabetic. And then after 6 and 4, you are diabetes. Now, sad part is during pre-diabetic, you have no medication. Basically, the doctor would say, hey, you're a pre-diabetic. You got to really not to eat sweet. That is the common. But unfortunately, that is not enough because you have to not only cutting a diet. Diet is meaning that it's not only sweet, you have to cut down anything deal with carbs like rice and all that stuff, right? Spaghetti, you know, or a bun, you know, like in Hong Kong, there's a lot of char siu bao is a bun. Those are tremendously high carbs. So you have to cut those down and you have to exercise, you lose your weight. So your lifestyle has to change. If you don't change, usually 3 to 4 years, you become a diabetes. Once you become a diabetic, your A1C becomes 6 from 4 and up, will just continue to go up. And then you cannot control it, you forever diabetes. So once you're diabetic, you cannot reverse back. So our objective is prevent you going where the high cholesterol goes up, help you lower down, or not getting you to be a pre-diabetic. That even better because you don't want to be sick and then treat. Why don't prevent you become sick? And that's why we want to make sure that you are getting the treatment ahead of time, understand, change lifestyle, that you can able to be better person and be healthy. And so why we drink Lowsutea? Because Lowsutea can help you during the pre-diabetic state, prevent you become diabetes. The reason is because Lowsutea have two things. One is the guava leaves, which block the sugar into the gut vessels. And then bitter melon will increase the insulin sensitivity and take the sugar into the cells. The excess sugar, they'll dump the sugar out from your urine and also dump the cholesterol out of urine and also salt. And once cholesterol, salt, and sugars out, your blood pressure also come down because salt went down, the blood pressure will also come down. So you can actually lower your 3 high. By the way, if you can able to decrease your 3 high, man, you'll be extremely good because at the end of the day, you basically will be continue to be healthy forever, ever. So it's very important. You are continue to lower your 3 high. Okay, keep that in mind. So this is why we're so really want to give you free webinar to make sure you understand how to prevent the 3 high is so important. 各位同學，我今日見到好多朋友咧，都未必係喺不同嘅地方嚟嘅，係即係美國啊或者東南亞咁。但係今日咧，我哋講好快脆講俾你聽。嗱，每個人都 go to 4個 stage 嘅 diabetes。第一個 stage 咧就係LDL 球上升啦，咁就 damage 嗰啲喺胰島素出嚟嘅 B cells 啦 ，B cell 壞咗之後就唔帶翻啲糖入細胞啦，咁血糖就喺度上升咯喎，咁兩個加埋晒啲血就好結，好結咧弊啦，咁佢就好快脆咧就去到 next stage， 因為結咧就將成身嘅血管係咁塞咗之後咧血管唔夠地方咧，佢血壓就會上升，血壓上升咗之後咧，如果你咩唔做咧，好快脆咧就去第3個 stage 啦。個第3個 stage 咧，你就變咗叫做前期患病者。每一個醫生都係度呢樣嘢叫做 A1C， 度前期患病點度㗎？咁佢哋就度呢個紅血球有幾多 percent 嘅血黐住你嘅紅血球 HbA1c。咁如果你 5.7 以下咧，咁你正常啦。如果 5.7 至 6.4 以上咧，呢個 range 上面咧，你就係前期患病。嗱，好可惜前期患冇藥食嘅，醫生多數話俾你你而家前期患病咯，你要注意唔好食咁甜嘢啦。但係食甜嘢唔係重要個，唔係淨係呢個問題咁簡單，因為你要開始轉你嘅生活習慣，唔係淨係食甜嘢，又要即係 exercise， 又要減磅，又要度你血糖等咧，繼續係去 change 咗你嘅 lifestyle， 知道點去做嘅時候咧，咁咧你就繼續係 maintain 喺呢個前期患病唔會過糖尿病。但係如果你咩唔做咧，3至4年咧你就轉咗糖尿病，佢就即係 A1C 過咗 6.4。過咗6.4啊，弊啦，咁你就前期一路落去咧，就因為只係食啊，或者咁你就可能要真係繼續飲去糖茶，做翻 lifestyle change， 你都可以降翻落去呢個前期患病嘅 stage 嘅。但係如果你唔做咧，以後一路係咁去咧，你就糖尿患病者啦。咁我哋有2個東西啦，係咪我哋 basically 我哋有呢個去糖茶幫助你啦。點解去糖茶咧？就因為我哋有番茄粒咧係幫助你降低啲血糖咧入去個血管裏邊嘅。咁仲有咧就係苦瓜咧就有個胰島素咧增加個胰島素敏感力，帶翻啲糖咧入細胞裏邊。咁仲有 excess 嘅糖咧，就有尿同埋呢個胰島素。就 increase 一個胰島素嘅敏感度咧，咁尿咧就掉excess 嘅糖咧，就喺個尿嗰度掉出嚟。佢同埋掉個膽固醇出嚟，同埋個鹽亦都掉出嚟。當你3樣掉出嚟嘅時候咧，你血壓亦都會降低嘅。咁亦都幫你提步，所以呢個產品係十分好咧，幫助你降低血糖、膽固醇同埋血壓，即係3個都降低到。So also besides, just drinking the tea, we also have 5 programs to help you to lower your blood sugar, cholesterol, and blood pressure. And that is including the diet control that we talk about in various, we have hundreds of our webinar program to teach you about how to control your diet. You also have exercise program that give you about 8,000 to 10,000 steps per day you can do, and also how to understand weight control, put your BMI lower to 23. We're webinar every week to teach you about how to manage diabetes and also how to measure blood sugar and tracking. Hopefully that will do your A1C drop all the way to 5.7. So that's what we do. Besides 我飲茶咁簡單啦，但係我哋仲有5個節目咧，係幫助你真係能夠降低你嘅血糖、膽固醇同埋血壓嘅。咁呢個就係第一，飲食上咧有個低碳水嘅食物啦，同埋有點樣做 exercise 啦，80個1萬步啦，咁同埋仲有我哋降低嘅 BMI 低過係23啦。咁你如果少過10%咧，你降低1% 嘅 A1C 嘅。咁我每個禮拜都有啲免費講座啦，係1個鐘頭嘅講座，星期六啦。咁然後咧仲有我教點去 track 你嗰啲嘅度嘅血知道你個成日你每日嘅血係幾多，咁你先能夠繼續係成功地咧降低你 A1C 咧由10以上降落去5.7㗎啦。我見到好多病人都係做到嘅。咁呢個係我哋最重要嘅節目啦。咁我又已經100幾個 lecture 喺個YouTube 過嚟，係你能夠可以繼續學嘅。So now we will start to help you to understand really how hormones, how your blood sugar goes up, because in a woman has a different hormone, and the important thing is your various physical body will give you different type of hormone that come out. The hormone also help you to include your metabolism, growth, development. All these hormones will actually specifically as either affect your insulin or will because of affect insulin, then that result that your insulin doesn't go up as much or not sensitive enough, so it doesn't take sugar in the cells. So hormone and insulin is extremely important with this relationship. So if you have this understanding, then you better understand why your blood sugar will goes up while during a certain time of the period, like for example pregnancy and so forth. Okay. 嗱，各位女士有好多人唔知道咧，原來咧就喺荷爾蒙方面嚟講咧，有好多病人咧即係先知道，哇！原來女士嘅荷爾蒙係會影響我個胰島素嘅敏感度啦。咁如果呢個影響到胰島素敏感度啦，咁嗰啲就唔帶翻啲糖入去個細胞裏邊咧，咁就弊咯。咁你就變咗好多嘢咧。其實原來荷爾蒙咧係幫助你做好多東西嘅，唔直接係增加你胰島素敏感度啦，亦都幫助你嘅發育嘅問題啊，同埋你點 break down 你啲嘅食物啊，同埋各種嘅生活嘅新陳代謝都喺荷爾蒙裏邊有好大嘅 relationship。咁今日咧我會講多啲點解你啲荷爾蒙同你血糖係好有關係，咁應該就會繼續落去啦。Now, as you know, when you are puberty, your estrogen level will continue to go up. Now, when you have estrogen level go up, it actually increases the insulin sensitivity. And if you increase the insulin sensitivity, And also you help because the insulin is really going up, the sensitivity very good up. So you keep taking the sugar into the cells. So net result, your blood sugar definitely will come down because your insulin works, okay? And that is during your puberty. Now, also in women, we all have a so-called menstrual cycle. And during this menstrual cycle, your blood sugar also will change. At that time, your estrogen and your progesterone, all these levels will go up, okay? And with that, unfortunately, they also decrease the sensitivity of the insulin. So net result during the time, your blood sugar will goes up because the insulin sensitivity will go down. So net result, your blood sugar goes up. So it's kind of like during the lifetime, you're growing up, it seems like everything's okay. But when you have menstruations, your blood sugar are actually increasing because of just your hormonal changes, okay? So you got to keep that in mind. This is very basic, something that you got to understand how the hormone affect the body, okay? 嗱，當我哋喺個青春期嘅時候咧，咁其實你話青春期好似哇 OK 喎，咁但係嗰陣時咧，我哋最得意咧就係我哋 estrogen 嘅荷蒙咧係會上升嘅。當 estrogen 荷蒙上升嘅時候咧，咁你咧就個胰島素嘅敏感度會上升嘅喎。咁如果胰島素上升嘅時候咧，你血糖咧一定降低。咁你所以後生嘅時候咧，你講嚟哇我食嘢好 OK， 糖又食多啲雪糕都唔怕。呢個原因咧係咁解嘅 ，OK？ 咁但係當你開始有經期，每個月開始有經期嚟嘅時候，咁情況又有改變咗咯喎。因為咧你經期嘅時候咧就會影響到咧你嘅 estrogen 同埋 progesterone 嘅荷爾蒙咧就係會亦都轉變咗嘅。當轉變咗之後咧，佢就降低咗胰島素嘅敏感度。咁所以變咗好多時咧喺你喺個月經期嘅時候咧，你血糖咧就會上升嘅，因為個胰島素嘅感染就降低咗，咁你血糖一定會上升啦。咁所以變咗咧，有陣時好多人就話：，點解我係即係經期嚟嘅時候咧，就哇嗰啲血糖真係好高喎？咁呢個原因你知道點解啦 ？OK， 因為你個荷爾蒙嘅影響。OK，now another hormone that changes during the time, very big change, is when you're pregnancy, because during your pregnancy you'll have high estrogen and high progesterone level, and that will continue reducing your insulin sensitivity. So net result, your blood sugar will goes up. Remember, when insulin sensitivity goes up, reduce, then your blood sugar will be going up. So insulin sensitivity come down, your blood sugar will go up. So keep that in mind. So that's the reason all women who are pregnant, there's a high chance of gestation diabetic, and the risk is much higher. On top of that, they're also easy to develop type 2 diabetic in the late life. Now that is very, very crucial understanding because of insulin change. It reduce the insulin sensitivity and your blood sugar will continue goes up. Net result, the chances of you being gestated diabetic now and also later in life are high. Okay. Now at the same time, during the menopause, you are also decrease the estrogen level. Now this also increase the insulin resistance. So when you increase insulin resistance, the blood sugar level will definitely go up. Now, so there are two things that is kind of interesting in the menopause. Even wow, why a lot of people who are ladies actually who are 50 something, and then they tend to end up with type 2 diabetic because the decreasing of estrogen level lead to insulin resistance. So the insulin doesn't work as much anymore. And then net result, you know what? Since your insulin doesn't work as well anymore, your blood sugar will continue goes up, and that lead to your stage 2, your type 2 diabetes. Okay, so it actually really make a lot of sense. Okay, 嗱，你懷孕嘅時候咧，你好多時咧就係你個estrogen 同埋 progesterone 咧，你個嘅荷爾蒙咧係會上升嘅。 咁上升咗之後咧，就將個胰島素敏感度咧係降低咗。咁當你降低咗嘅時候咧，你血糖咧會上升咯，因為胰島素降低啊嘛，個 sensitivity。咁當上升嘅時候咧，弊家伙啦，你個 chance 會有呢個二型嘅糖尿病咧，風險係會增加好多嘅，因為咧你血糖都係上升嘅 ，OK？ 咁尤其是咧，就要好翻後咧，你第時都有咁嘅可能性咧 develop 咗呢個第二期嘅糖尿病，所以要好注重。當你有個呢個 gestation diabetic 嘅時候咧，你一定係將來咧要繼續注重呢樣嘢嘅。咁當你收經嘅時候咧，亦都有個時間咧，因為你個menopause 係已經開始呢度收經啦，咁你 estrogen 咧亦都降低嘅。咁 estrogen 降低嘅時候咧，就 lead to 一個 insulin 嘅 resistance， 即係個 insulin 唔咁 work 啦，即係唔會去繼續係去抗拒啦。當佢有抗拒嘅時候咧，咁你當然咧你個 blood sugar 高濕啦。所以到咁上下時間嘅人係50零歲嘅時候咧，多女士咧係血糖會上升，咁你就要即係睇住佢係咪真係會上到 to a point 咧，你係好多 resistance 咧，所以變咗 convert 你係咩啊？二型糖尿病者，所以呢個係一個好重要嘅concept 咧要注重嘅。So we'll talk a little bit more about gestation diabetic because I know there's a lot of lady actually has gestation diabetic. Even my daughter, when she has her baby, she also had gestation diabetes issue, but during the pregnancy. But afterwards, she's getting well. So now she has to be very careful all the time to understand how this happened to her, and she have to really change her lifestyle, make sure that she continue to exercise, not to gain a lot of weight, those kind of stuff. And we'll talk about that later. But more important, during the pregnancy, your body cannot produce enough insulin and to meet your body demand. So net result, your sugar is continue goes up, and net result, you will have issues of gestation diabetes. Now, as you know, the insulin is basically help you take the sugar into the cells, so you have energy, and which is the sugar is called glucose. The blood sugar is called glucose. And basically, this is a source of energy. Give it to you while you're pregnancy. You need a lot of energy to feed your body plus your baby to get them continue to be, healthy and so forth. And so, really, at the end of the day, you can have many issues if you don't do it correctly and not watch yourself. Future development can be after pregnancy. Type 2 diabetes is a higher risk. Okay， 嗱，當你係懷孕嘅時候咧，咁你可能變咗會懷孕期嘅糖尿病啦。當然你會好翻可能，但係好翻後咧，你真係注重，因為咧個問題咧嗰陣時啲糖咧，照你懷孕嘅時候，你要係需要好多胰島素，但係你啲糖咧入去個細胞裏邊，就幫助你咧俾energy 你啊，同埋俾你 BB 嘅食品啊，即係要係呢個係好正常嘅。咁但係呢啲咧，佢俾好多嘅糖出嚟咧，但係你唔夠胰島素咧，咁就弊家伙咯喎。咁你俾啲糖計好高，啲糖亦都入唔到嗰個細胞裏邊。咁呢個好多時咧就變咗呢個原因咧，就係嗰個叫做 gestation diabetic 啦。So when you have high body with sugar, and you basically can have a risk for you and your baby, because if you are continue to be extremely high of blood sugar, it will affect your baby also have high blood sugar also, besides you have high blood sugar, the mother have high blood pressure. So in order for you to manage and prevent really gestation diabetic, you gotta basically have to have diet control, exercise, and sometimes even need medication. So really, at the end of the day, actually, you need to really do that. Like, for example, a lot of people would start taking brown rice or red rice, regular rice. So cut down the actual carbs intake, and that's important. And also take a lot of vegetable, meaning that a lot of lettuce, salad, and stuff like that. That's very good. And no longer, when you're pregnant, you might also have a lot of craving of sweets, like for example, cakes. So you cut that down. So you do very good nutritional product, a lot of protein, like fish, all the good stuff that you eat. And rather than eating a lot of fatty stuff, a lot of fat meat and so forth. If you can able to do that, the chances for you to develop gestational diabetic are much less. If they can able to control the blood sugar, then you usually have one, healthy babies. Second is you will have basically has less chance to gestational diabetes. So really, if you understand the principle, then you will say, this is really good because you can able to prevent gestation diabetes。OK， 嗱，各位朋友，當你係懷孕嘅時候咧，好重要咧，就係要知道咧，血糖上升咗，咁你咧係會增加咗你個 risk 咧，係你自己因為血糖高啊嘛。第二樣嘢，你 BB 個血糖都高嘅，咁所以變咗，因為你食咩入咗去個 BB 都繼續係食你啲嘢噶嘛，咁你血糖高佢都會上高啫。咁呢個有個 relationship 嘅。所以變咗嚟講咧，當你有 gestation diabetes 嘅時候咧，你真係要控制好多嘢。第一，你個 diet 啦，diet meaning 就係譬如好似唔係食飯喎，我而家食紅米喎，咁亦都要食或者 brown rice 喎。嗱，點解食呢兩樣好正擺咗白飯咧？因為呢兩樣咧有好多 fibre， 亦都唔係一個好高嘅 glycemic index 嘅食物，令到嘣一聲食到你啲飯，你血糖升得好高嘅，唔係咁嘅，佢慢慢升上嚟，亦都好慢慢落翻嚟。咁佢亦都好正，唔係咁多 carbs 樣嘢。咁仲有一樣嘢咧，你又因為當你pregnancy 嘅時候，你梗係會食好希望，哇！我想食好甜嘢，食嗰啲餅啊，咁嗰啲唔知好啦，要增加啲血糖啊。咁不如你食翻多啲 fibre 嘅嘢啊，又食好多 protein 啊、豆腐啊、魚啊，食多好多蔬菜啊，咁樣見到你可能夠增加咗你好多纖維嘅食物啊，咁你可以去大便就舒服啲喎，人又全部好啲喎，哇幾正啊！所以變咗咧，每一個媽咪咧，當你有gestation diabetic 嘅時候咧，你係 control 血糖咧，咁你 BB 仔同埋你本身咧都係會好健康嘅 healthy 嘅，同埋亦都可以 prevent 到咧，你其實咧唔會變咗個 gestation diabetic，或者你開始好似去緊嗰度咧，你都係 reverse 翻呢樣嘢嘅，所以好重要啊！記住。當你 pregnant 嘅時候，呢個係一個重要嘅 step，OK？ 但係如果你係仲有一樣嘢控制唔到啦，好多人咧就變咗咧，有第一咧就有血糖高啦，第二仲有好大問題咧就係血壓高。嗱，血壓高有一個好重要，因為我做過即係一段時間係喺美國做呢個delivery nurse 啦，咁見到啲病人翻嚟嗰啲又好大隻好肥胖嘅咧，高血壓嗰啲係有危險性咧，有一個地方叫 preeclampsia， 佢血壓整得好高嘅，咁變咗嚟講咧，呢個咧係一個對媽媽同 BB 兩樣身體咧都係有個好嚴重嘅影響，即係會令到佢哋即係生命危險都有喎，咁所以咧變咗佢個血糖高。血壓高同埋會 affect 到佢嘅 kidney 又即係開始唔係咁 function 咧，呢個要好危險嘅一定要注重嘅。咁仲有一樣嘢咧，係好多 BB 咧係有 gestational diabetes 嘅時候咧，佢亦都有個問題出現咧，就有 birth defects 啊。咁呢個咧係出生嘅即係缺陷birth defects 咧係高嘅。咁同埋有啲 BB 咧就好鬼巨型嘅。所以呢啲嘢咧，亦都要小心，因為佢唔可以俾到就太大嘅時候生係好難啦。咁可能又變咗 C-section 嘅東西啦。咁同埋仲有一樣嘢，如果 BB 係仲有一樣嘢，當你係做咗呢啲咁嘅問題出現咧 ，BB 可能出生嘅時候咧就 OK， 但好快脆啲糖咧跌晒落嚟嘅時候，咁個 BB 咧就會有 low blood sugar 出現啦。咁就好，亦都係有個危險性嘅東西。所以呢樣嘢咧，你要知道咧。喺 gestational diabetes 係點去處置嘅 ？So really at the end of the day, there's few key issue. If you have high blood sugar and high blood pressure, one is you have a preeclampsia, as I talked about, and that's actually life-threatening. It affects you, the mother, and also the kidney. Second, if you have also high blood sugar and so forth, you have high chances of birth defects, and that result, baby and mother if you have high blood sugar and the mother who after born a child, and you notice, wow, there's a higher chance of birth defects. On top of that, the mother, because it's gestational diabetic, the child can become so big, end up have such a hard time delivering, end up also have to go with C-section. So again, this is another risk to mom, right? And the baby also, right? On top of that, the baby also come out is okay, but suddenly the blood sugar starts dropping. And that is also can be seen during the time that I was doing labor delivery as a nurse, and I can see a lot of that situation. So you got to really watch that, because you don't want to take that lightly, gestation diabetic, because they can threaten your mom and also threaten the child. So net result of that, I will now talk about 7 insights, so you have a better understanding why women need to understand herself and empower you to able to prevent you become a pre-diabetic, or if you have diabetes, you can reverse that to be a pre-diabetic person, or you can become a normal person. So I hope with this understanding, you have a better way to manage and prevent yourself to get into the issue of pre-diabetic and diabetes. So this will be a very good insight for you guys. Okay. 今日我講咧就有7個地方咧，其實你係可以了解咗之後，女士了解咗之後，咁你就可以幫你自己咧去 prevent 呢個點去能夠變咗即係防禦到你係去前期患病啦，或者係糖尿病啦，亦都係可以幫助你咧。就算你係糖尿病咗之後，可以轉翻去前期患病，或者去到即係一個 normal person 都得嘅。咁但係呢個咧，你要自己工作嘅。咁呢樣嘢，所以今日咧係特別咧，俾你更加有了解。咁你可以自己開始 understand 然後去做嘢。Okay, so really at the end of the day, now we understand if you are pre-diabetic and diabetes, it can impact you. So what is the most impact would that be for women? Now, if they develop pre-diabetic, most likely because of hormonal changes, genetics, obesity, or physical activities are not there, they tend to be higher chances actually change to be a type 2 diabetes. And as you know, if you are pre-diabetic, 50% of women, if you don't do anything, you tend to be develop a type 2 diabetic than men. So the actual women are more easy to develop than men from pre-diabetic to diabetes. Okay, so that's why it's so important if you can able to start taking action, changing your lifestyle, so you don't need to actually end up to pre-diabetic, or even you are pre-diabetic, you are not able to convert yourself to be a diabetes. So that's why we want to make sure that you understand how this impact and how you prevent this conversion. 因為咧，女士有個 hormonal changes 啦，頭先講咗啦。咁好多時咧，因為呢個荷爾蒙嘅轉變咧，令到你血糖咧，即係個胰島素嘅腎絲降低咗，你血糖上升。咁好多時咧，你就算係即係啱啱生完之後，或者你到老嘅 menopause 之後，或者 during 個時間咧，好多時咧，你就會變咗係前期患病者，糖尿病上升。咁你糖尿病上升嘅時候咧，如果你乜嘢都唔做嘅時候，咁你好弊咧就好快脆轉咗，真係變咗糖尿病咯。咁你就有好多不同嘅問題出現。咁其實咧有可能就係因為仲有咧，就唔係淨係荷爾蒙咧，仲有你嘅屋企人嘅遺傳啦，或者你係肥胖啦。如果你係已經係 BMI 30啦，即係你依家已經40歲，但係 BMI 30。去到50歲嘅時候，你做30幾咧，咁你就個 chance 去做糖尿病者係更加高嘅。同埋仲有好多女士咧就唔係咁喐動嘅，佢又唔行啦，又多數屋企啦。咁如果你係唔行，就繼續係喺屋企多啲咧，你 chance 糖尿病者高嘅。咁所以咧如果係女士咧係譬如diabetic 50% 咧。 係有 high risk 咧，係 become 一個二型嘅糖尿患病者嘅 ，compare with 男士啦。OK， so we all know also women who have diabetic, they're higher risk to get heart disease, stroke, kidney disease, blindness, amputation than men with diabetic. Now, this could be just now related is, they don't move as much as men because men go out to work and so forth. So net result, they tend to be less moving, more stay at home and so forth, stay home, or they're not physical activities as active compared to men. Could be all that will be affect them to be higher chances to have the heart disease, stroke, and so forth. So those are the things that women tend to have higher risk of that. And plus, they are more so, women also more susceptible to depression, anxiety, and can make diabetic management even more challenging. Because if you are depressed and anxious and with anxiety, also another issue you have is you don't tend to do a lot of things because you tend to kind of freeze there. So these are something that you need to also be aware as women who are if they are pre-diabetic or diabetes. OK， 女性咧好得意，因為當你有糖尿病嘅時候咧，佢哋係有個高機會咧係有心臟病啦，有中風嘅情況啦，有kidney disease 啦，即係腎病嘅問題啦，仲有係糖尿上眼啦，咁又開始盲啦，同埋仲有咧就要割咗個腳啦，同男士咧係真係有多機會過男士嘅有diabetes 嘅。咁仲有啦，佢仲有好多時咧就係女士咧有糖尿病嘅時候咧，好多時咧就會有憂鬱症啦。咁呢幾樣嘢咧，當你有鬱症嘅時候咧，又好驚啦、焦慮啦，咁你就變咗糖尿病嘅情況咧，係管理咧係更加困難。因為當你有憂鬱症嘅時候咧，好似就 freeze 咗度，唔知點做好 depressed， 哇弊啦咁。咁越 depressed 咧，你糖就越高嘅，因為糖咧猛話俾你喂你要做嘢喎，咁佢俾多啲糖你咧係去諗住去打仗，咁但係好可惜咧，因為啲糖高咧就令到個身體更加好差。OK， so I will give you some statistics from the United States to help you to better understand the seriousness of the pre-diabetic woman population. Now, according to US, they said 1 in 3 women over age of 20, they tend to be potential pre-diabetic. Now, that number is considered fairly high. Pre-diabetic meaning the blood sugar actually from A1C, measure A1C is 5.7 to 6.4. So they stay in that range for some time, okay? So that is something that you gotta really watch because I guess, especially in the state, a lot of people with diet and so forth, and a lot of sweet drink, that all lead you to what? A pre-diabetic stage is a lot more easier, okay? And on top of that, women and pre-diabetic is much higher, especially people two black women, one of them is potential is also pre-diabetic, and also Hispanic women are also very high. For Hispanic ladies, one will be pre-diabetic. So you can see the prevalence pre-diabetic is very high in the woman area. So that's why a lot of people write to me, they say, tell me more. I really want to learn how to prevent me from pre-diabetic, not to change the diabetes. And so they also want to learn how I'm not going to convert myself to be pre-diabetic. So I think this is a very, very good, example for a lot of people to really, at the end of the day, to understand, wow, actually, this is high, incident for women who are pre-diabetic in the state. OK， 嗱喺美國咧，我睇到咧就原來都好嚴重。20歲以上嘅女士咧，1/3嘅女士咧就係已經有呢個糖尿患病嘅前期喎。咁同埋仲有一樣嘢咧，好多係黑人咧 每兩個即係1/2嘅黑人咧，就即係每兩個黑人咧，可能一個已經係有前期患病。如果係西班牙人咧，每4個已經有一個。咁其實即係總數嚟講咧，就係好多糖尿患病者咧，前期患病者，sorry，好多前期患病者咧已經係好後生，已經有機會前期啦。嗱，前期咧就係話你5.7以上至6.4呢個前期嘅 A1C percentage 啦。咁依家其實呢個 number 就好大嘅喎嚇。And also because of the pre-diabetic is high number, and 1 out of every 10 women, there's 1 already are diabetic. So in a sense that is considered as too high because lots of diabetes then that's been in women. Every 10 women, 1 of them is diabetes. In blacks, even higher. Every 7 black women, there's 1 diabetic. And it has Hispanic women, there's every 12 Hispanic women, there's 1 diabetic. 嗱喺美國咧，其實咧每10個女士咧就有1個咧已經係糖尿病患者啦。但係如果你黑人裏邊咧，有每7個人咧有1個已經係。如果係西班牙籍嘅人士咧，有12個裏邊只會有1個。咁其實咧亦都講咗咧，前期患病高，原來糖尿病一樣咁高。但當係糖尿病即係前期患更加多啲人啦。OK， 所以變咗嚟講咧，係呢個咧喺美國係有一個好大問題。其實香港都係，亦都未必有咁高，但係香港其實總數計晒埋咧，你30% 嘅population 咧，即係我哋人嘅香港嘅人裏邊咧，其實係已經有呢個前期患病或者糖尿病，因為香港係 estimate 有2.3個230萬係前期患病嘅，當然全部唔係女士，但係大多數係有女士之中裏邊嘅。So the key factor that make women vulnerable to become a pre-diabetic or diabetes are the following. First of all, many of them, if they're black, tend to have higher incidence. The more important is really the obese and overweight, because a lot of Americans are overweight. Plus, the sedentary lifestyle, meaning that they like to watch a lot of TV, they don't move, they get big. Plus, they also have polycystic ovary disease. That is another very common for women have pre-diabetic or diabetes, or high blood pressure or high cholesterol. That is also very common. Or if they are gestation diabetic, the chance of them become diabetes is high. Plus, the family history of diabetes. You know where my parents are, my mom's, dad, brother and sister, my auntie, uncle, they are always have highly related. They can potentially become diabetes, or they become pre-diabetic. At the end, age, because as you see, women who are age 50 and up, they have much higher chances to be pre-diabetic and eventually convert to diabetes because of the hormonal changes. So that is really, now you understand, in the sense that the risk, if one of this area is you, then you really have to watch, okay? You cannot just ignore it because somehow you have to watch and change your lifestyle. So net result of that, if you're in this category, hey, do something about for yourself. 其實咧，女士咧患呢個前期患病或者糖尿患病者咧，係你需要咧知道你係咪呢幾種嘅人嘅類別裏邊咧？咁如果係嘅話咧，你就要注重啦。第一就係譬如我哋黑人啦，或者係西班牙人啦。或者係你嘅種係咪係有好多有前期患有糖尿病者咧？你要注重。第二樣嘢咧，肥胖係好重要嘅，因為如果你 BMI 過咗30咧 ，chance for 你去糖尿病或者前期患係高嘅。咁或者你嘅 lifestyle 咧係唔喐乜滯嘅，我成日都係睇電視多啊，又唔去運動啊，即係做嘢唔係咁多，喺 office 成日做嘢啊，好壓力大，猛食啦。呢啲咧係全部咧係令到你咧咩啊？哇！弊家伙！呢個令到你咧，因為你個 lifestyle 係令到你咧係會糖尿病嘅風險係高嘅。咁仲有咧就係好多時咧，你喺你個子宮嗰度咧地方咧係有個 polycystic， 有好多啲咁嘅小瘤啊，咁變咗嚟嘅。 你又會係有呢個亦都機會呢樣嘢嘅。咁仲有一個血壓高啦，或者膽固醇高啦，同埋仲有你亦都有咗 gestation diabetes 嘅前做咗做過啦。咁你將來咧機會係會高嘅，同埋你仲有 family history 啊，即係你屋企人有即係遺傳嘅阿婆有阿嫲有，咁你就個機會咧亦都高嘅。同埋個 age 年齡，如果你50幾歲以下咧，你知啦，hormonal 即係荷蒙嘅改變咧，就令到你咧就胰島素係會降，即係個 resistance 上升。咁你糖咧就一定會上升嘅，胰島素即係唔夠 sensitivity 啦，已經有 resistance。咁你胰島素唔 sensitivity，你糖就一定上升。咁你就好多時候咧就變咗有個前期患病啦。嗱 ，the common symptom of prediabetic diabetes for women also is frequently they get thirsty, dry skin. Dry skin are the most common. Ladies, when you have dry skin, you gotta really watch because that is the first sign to get you to be realized you might be a pre-diabetic. And that is usually the change at age about 40, 50. You will start seeing that change. And that change could be 1 or 2 years or 3 years. But you will see start dry skin. That means your circulation start become poor. That's why your skin become dry. And that really at the end of the day, that will be one good symptom for you to have that. And on top of that, you might be blurred vision. That means you have eyes issue already with diabetic that causing your eyes, really damaging your eye because of diabetes. And also you have fatigue. A lot of time you start getting fatigue and plus tingling hand and feet feeling. That is another very common sign, dry skin and tingling hand feeling. And on top of that, sometimes you say it's not necessarily you are just chubby, but it could be also is your weight loss could be also an issue. And plus you can always get very hungry very fast and you keep eating. Plus you might have numbness or frequent urination or sore doesn't heal. Those are all signs for you to tell you you can become potential pre-diabetic and moving to diabetes. But so if you see any of these signs, you should start checking with the doctors. And that is no joke. You gotta really take this seriously because I show that you are moving toward to a pre-diabetic or diabetic stage already. And you must start taking steps to follow up. 嗱，各位朋友，因為好多時候女士咧常見到嘅問題出現咧就係口乾啦、啲皮膚乾燥啦、視力模糊啦、攰啦、隻手腳有少少刺痛同埋 tingling 嘅 feeling 啦，好多時咧亦都係覺食咗嘢，哇好似食唔飽咁嘅麻木啦，同埋成日去小便啦，同埋有時啲即係腳嗰度咧又唔囂啊，即係唔會好翻喎。咁有時有啲人咧仲係忽然間哇〜點解我啲磅一路係咁跌落嚟咧？唔係一定肥㗎。咁呢個亦都係見到成日都見到呢啲咁嘅情況。最常見咧就個皮膚乾燥，同埋手腳咧係好似有啲怪怪地，即係有 tingling feeling 咁個感覺。咁所以變咗嚟咧，尿頻亦都係一個即係多常見嘅。咁所以呢幾笪地方咧都見到咧，你就要開始真係揾醫生 check 下你糖係咪好高。嗱。As you know, when you start seeing that, the potential develop if you don't revert yourself back to pre-diabetic, you continue to be diabetes and continue moving up, the issue will become very serious because you now will have problem like stroke because of the fact that your blood pressure goes up. Another thing is you actually from there, you affect your memory. So you're going to have, dementia, you have all these issues come in. You also have cataract, glaucoma, your pancreatitis, meaning you have not enough insulin coming out to your body to utilize to take sugar into the cell. More important is your heart disease because you're going to have coronary artery disease. That is going to be a bigger issue. And on top of that, you have nerve damage, your amputation, plus your pregnancy complication. And a lot of times they also have gum disease and diabetic neuropathy, meaning your kidneys start failing. And a lot of these diabetes patients, now Hong Kong is about 75% of the diabetic patient is actually had diabetic neuropathy, 75% I'm talking about. That's high, I'm not sure that high, but I mean, That's pretty worldwide, as a lot of diabetic patients tend to have this issue of the kidney start failing. So you have to keep watching because you cannot just ignore that. So this is very important to keep yourself healthy and keep understanding where you're at of your kidney. Make sure don't get them to fail, because if you get kidney to fail, it will be really sad because you have to get frequent dialysis. You know, in Hong Kong we do CAPD, but you know, a lot of people in the state to do hemodialysis. Wow, that would be so hard. Your quality of life just down the hill. Okay, so you don't want to get into the road. Okay, so 各位朋友，如果你真係變咗係前期患病就係糖尿病咧，咁將來你嘅併發症咧就好多種嘅。咁嘅併發症係咩咧？就中風啦、失憶啦、dementia 啦，呢個好重要，千祈唔好去呢度。第二樣嘢你又會有呢個青光眼啊、白內障啊，同埋你會心臟病啊、冠狀動脈嘅病係好常見嘅。咁如果係呢樣嘢嘅時候咧，因為佢個全身係咁塞啊嘛，咁最重要嘅問題就塞咗你個心臟嗰度 ，besides 腦嗰度。咁仲有個神經系統損壞啦，咁你就係腳咗腳，因為你冇感覺啊嘛，咁你嗰個腳又唔會好翻咯，咁要割咗個腳。咁同埋咧就 pregnancy 啦，就有 complication 好似即係gestation diabetes 啊，仲有牙嘅疾病啦。咁同埋仲有一個好大問題咧，就係呢個。血糖咧係影響你腎，影響腎嘅時候咧，你要將嚟去洗腎咧，哇！就呢個認真唔係一個好嘅地方去，因為如果有呢樣嘢嘅時候咧，你要 end up 咧就要唔淨止嘅生活係冇咗一個好嘅情趣啦，你每個禮拜要去醫院洗腎或者喺屋企洗咧，就係呢個就認真唔係好啦。So at the end of the day, how are you going to manage your pre-diabetic and diabetic if you are a woman? Okay. And that is important tips for you now, because in order for you to maintain good health, you have to change your lifestyle. Now, what it means changing lifestyle, you have to eat a balanced diet, meaning you have to low carb diet. You have to include all the fruit, vegetable, whole grain, get whole food, so to speak, limited processed food, and limited sugary drink like Coca-Cola, and take away the unhealthy fats. Okay, like for example, really do not go to too much on a McDonald's because that would not good for you. And you have to engage more on physical activities, like you can walk 30 minutes to 1 hour every day, 10,000 steps or 8,000 steps. At least start early. You can start with 3,000 steps, you can move to 5,000, and then 8,000, and then 10,000. That will definitely help you to get that physical activity going. Okay. 每一個女士，如果你係知道，哇，我依家會可能有前期患病咯，已經或者係糖尿病咧，你一定要由生活習慣嗰邊咧係一定要改變，然後先改變個健康生活習慣。咁呢個做啲咩嘢㗎？改變生活習慣啦。第一，食材裏邊咧要食啲係低碳水化合物食物啦，就要食多生果啊、蔬菜啊。我成日都講咧，你每一日咧都係食一半咧。個碟裏邊咧一半都係全部菜嚟嘅，然後1/4咧係先食你個肉嘅 protein 係咩啊？魚啊、豆腐啊嗰啲東西，然後飯咧食紅米啊啲，咁變咗嚟講咧，你就會食好即係嘅健康嘅食品，咁同埋咧食啲全部一個即係更加一個整體食品，啦食啲加工食品，咁你就弊家伙啦！如果食到好加工，所以加好多糖喺裏邊嘅。咁所以就唔好食咁多啲嘢，亦都即係降低係脂肪啦。咁同埋最緊要咧要有運動，運動咧每個人咧行30分鐘至45分鐘，一路加上去1個鐘頭。咁有1萬步咧，我 make sure 咧你係一定會有身體10分健康嘅回報俾翻你嘅。嗱，因為你 because you are actually do exercise, you're going to start losing weight, you won't be obese. The blood sugar definitely will be well controlled and will be also continue going down. Blood sugar will go down. Control is a key strategy for you for your blood sugar. And exercise is one of the most important, besides diet, for you to lose weight to get your blood sugar down. If you lose 10% of your body weight, you minus 1% of A1C. In other words, your A1C is 8, you'll go down to 7. 7, you'll go down to 8. That will be wonderful, and that's your objective. Now, you're a smoker, you gotta really avoid smoking. because smoking worsen your blood sugar control, okay? And then you also need to manage what? Stress. Stress move your blood sugars up. So if you are less stressed, you need to do like yoga, meditation, spend time in nature, looking at greens, and then you need to have things that will make you happy, get family support, get your friends support, enjoy life. When you are less stressed, you know what? Your blood sugar doesn't go up and will help you tremendously. And you have to also, one more secret you don't know is you have to drink Lowsutea because you are pre-diabetic, you have no medication. How do you lower sugar? Besides just diet, exercise, and weight control, there's something you need to help. Your help is drink Lowsutea. 8 glasses of Lowsutea a day. That definitely help you to lower your 3 high, meaning your blood sugar, cholesterol, and blood pressure. Now, with the 3 high go down, you pretty much for sure you will be healthy. So the last point is why I want to do this lecture. I want to empower you to have all the necessary information to make sure you can able to manage yourself, in a sense, understand what to do to create a supportive environment for you so you can able to understand what is the crucial things you do in your life change, for example, lifestyle change, help you to prevent your blood sugar going up, and learn about how to provide you with, all the support of understanding prevention of worsen pre-diabetic diabetes, and really important. And with that, you probably end up will be more engaged with doctors, healthcare organization to better understand, how to manage diabetes. And certainly, we're here to help you. We want to hold your hand throughout your diabetic journey, so you can be really understand how to manage your diabetes. And that's why we're here to help you. 各位同學，記住咧，我哋知道咧，唔係淨係飲淨係即係頭先所講，就係飲茶咁簡單啦，仲要咧係要磅數嘅控制啦，唔好食煙啦，同埋咧要用唔好咁多壓力啦，要做一啲天然上嘅瑜伽啊，睇到綠色嘅東西啊，等能夠 relax 啊，因為如果唔係咧，你壓力上升咧，你嗰個血糖一定上升嘅。咁同埋飲去糖茶好重要嘅。咁其實最後咧，我哋點解要做呢樣嘢咧？就希望你懂點去自己管理你血糖嘅問題。你就算係前期患病或者係糖尿病，你都係有機會知道咧點去管理，同埋你有問題咧，可以問我哋又得，問醫生又得，問你嘅醫療嘅organization 可以幫到你，更加俾多啲資料糖尿病嘅，亦都可以啊。所以變咗點解好多人喺夜晚都即係寫啲 note 俾我啊？原因咧係有解嘅，因為好多地方係冇咁嘅 support 啊，咁佢又做呢樣嘢啦嚇。我哋可以幫到你，俾啲答案你啦。So we know Lowsutea definitely help you to pre-diabetic and diabetes to lower your 3 high, and that's why we're here. Lower your blood sugar, blood pressure, and bad cholesterol. When you lower your 3 high, the chances you'll be healthy will be very, very good. The risk of pre-diabetic to change to diabetic complication a substantial decrease. So that's why we're here with Lowsutea and all these lectures, helping you to better understand prevention. 各位朋友，記住咧，就係我哋現在咧係因為有好多人咧係前期患病，真係冇嘢食嘅喎，咁佢唯有就係用去糖茶，再加食物嘅管制、exercise 同埋呢個磅數嘅管制，咁你就會身體一定會健康，減低咗你血糖，減低你個血壓同埋壞嘅膽固醇，咁你就好掂啦。So in conclusion, today we know that hormonal does actually disrupt your basically balance of blood sugar because of the fact that you might be due to hormonal changes, you tend to get your blood sugar go up or blood sugar go real down. But this is something that you need to watch, that's all. And on top of that, understand during the time especially like menstruation or when you have menopause, you know that's coming. So you know how to prevent that by understanding, wow, because a lack of certain hormone or increased certain hormone, blood sugar will go up. So you can able to watch that. So that is very important. On top of that, if you're a gestation diabetic, can cause you high blood sugar level, which is increasing your risk when you're pregnant, especially your mother or child. And so you know if you are pre-diabetic or diabetes, you have, especially for women, you do have actually increased risk of heart attack, stroke, and other complications, especially dementia. Because dementia is a big item for many ladies who are diabetes. They don't tend to remember, and so they keep repeating over and over again, or they actually can't remember, short memory especially, then that really can be an effect to the entire lifestyle. So we'll help you to understand this. You can start thinking about it and able to start changing our lifestyle. And changing lifestyle, that's including eating right, meaning the low carb diet, healthy diet, and with exercise, losing your weight, and manage your pre-diabetic diabetes in a good lifestyle change, plus drinking Lowsutea. And then if you can take all these steps, understanding, manage your pre-diabetic diabetes, and then being educated, understand all the key points, and finding support through your doctors, your healthcare community, or us, who can help you, and you can really become healthy. Our objective, again, we're holding your hand throughout your diabetic journey or your pre-diabetic journey. We want to help you to be healthy so you can live long time without any kind of diabetic complications. And when you're healthy, you can enjoy your life, your partners, your grandchildren. Isn't that wonderful? I think that's what motivates us to continue to help you and put up this kind of education, help you to better understand. I hope you can get some idea what we try to talk about, and I hope you can able to practice life change with what we mentioned, with better dieting, exercise, weight control, drink Lowsutea, listen to our webinar, and measure your blood sugar. I'm sure you can keep yourself continue to be healthy and live wonderfully. Appreciate your time listening to our webinar. 各位堂友，今日咧係好重要，了解到咧，原來荷爾蒙嘅轉變咧係令到你咧個血糖會上升或者跌落嚟嘅。尤其是老啲人咧，你個荷爾蒙改變咗之後咧，即係去到50歲嗰啲啦，咁你就開始咧，原來咧就會有高機會咧就血糖繼續上升。咁你個高機會血糖上升嘅時候咧，咁你當然啦就有機會轉去2型糖尿病啦。咁仲有咧，你係如果你係有 BB 嘅時候，你有糖尿病咧，咁亦都有機會咧增加你個 BB 同埋媽咪嘅風險，同埋以後將來咧，你亦都有機會咧即係生個後咧，你有機會變咗係糖尿患病者。咁當然啦，當你有呢樣嘢嘅時候咧，你係已經前期患病咗糖尿病咧，仲有好有機會咧會有心臟病啦。有中風啦，最弊仲有啲係唔記得嘢，因為個血糖咧係塞咗喺腦後，嗰啲腦喺細胞塞咗之後咧，後邊塞咗啦，啲血去唔到啦，咁你就開始真係唔記得嘢咯，咁就好弊咯。咁但係重要性咧就係我哋每個人咧都要改變咗個生活習慣，譬如食啦 ，healthy diet 啦，咁就係要 exercise 啦，即係運動啦，仲要係要 loss 你減磅喎，點減磅啊？最重要咧係當你係前期患病，如果你減磅之後咧減10%咧，咁你嘅 A1C 係作1%，好緊要喎。如果你 A1C 係8嘅，你作7，哇，好正，7或者6，哇，好正。咁同埋咧，即係點解今日講咁多書咧？當你明白咗之後咧，你知道咧係點去管理。當你管理咗，咁你就可以降低咗你所有嘅風險。呢個咧係我哋個心最重要做俾你呢樣嘢。同埋我哋嘅重點咧係希望拉住你嘅手咧，係行呢條前期患病同糖尿病嘅病，呢個 holding a hand through 呢個 journey 啊。咁呢個前期患病糖尿病嘅 journey 咧，我希望俾多啲了解你，咁你先知道自己去識去管理咧。咁呢個咧係我哋咧覺得好開心啦，因為你哋就如果識管理咧，就永遠去唔到 糖尿患病者嘅併發症嘅東西。咁你永遠都係健康啦，享受人生啦，享受你屋企人啦，同埋享受你嘅孫兒啦。因為佢老啲嘅時候，你都繼續 OK 嘅。OK， 咁今日我講就咁多啦。咁 thank you very much for participate in our webinar. If you have any question, we're very happy to answer your question, or you can write to me, andy@wahfong.com, andy@wahfong.com, or WhatsApp us as 852-3001-5644. We're very happy to answer any question you have through WhatsApp, and we can able to follow up with you. And this is our heart to help you to hold your hand throughout your diabetic journey, so you can be continue healthy. 記住各位朋友，如果你有問題咧，你可以寫個 email 俾我，叫 andy@wahfong.com， 或者打個WhatsApp 俾我哋咧，852-301-5644，852-301-5644。咁我哋可以能夠答翻你，有咩問題答翻你。咁變咗嚟講咧，我哋就希望喺呢個咁嘅程序裏邊咧，係幫助你繼續健康，繼續係一個好開心嘅生活，能夠令到你咧可以好健康到老為止，都會見到不同嘅孫仔啊一齊玩啊，見到你屋企人啊，哇！呢個真係開心啊。OK， thank you very much, and this is end of today's lecture. I hope you enjoy it. If you have no question, do write to us. We'd love to answer your question. And so hope that you have a very nice weekend. So thank you again. You take care. Have a nice weekend. Thank you. Bye-bye.